All right, let's do this. Okay. So this fight, it's not too difficult, but it is cancer. And why it's cancer is all based on these marker rotations and how all that's going to run. And really what we're basing all that on is I put a picture in the Dathea channel, which covers most of it right here. Actually, open it in the browser. Maybe I can make it bigger. Kind of blurry. I don't even know if you guys can see that, or if it's just giga blurry. It's blurry for me already. But
It's pretty clear.
these percents, yeah, cover what happens. So what happens is the very, very simple mechanic of the fight is marks come out. Okay, 4 marks come out every time this comes out, and there's dead ads on the floor. There will be marks placed directly on the ads that have where you drop off your blue puddle, and pretty much what it is when you run your debuff on top of the specific portion of the ad. It can't just be anywhere in the ad. It has to be like sort of on the tip. You kind of see black smoke under the green one there. It'll absorb your mark and it'll give the ad 1 stack. At 10 stacks, the ad becomes alive, and then just like heroic, you have to kill the ad to knock you to the platform. That's kind of all the same. Um, it's very, very consistent in this fight, and probably what we're gonna do for melee players and range players. So range players and healers, not melee healers, will be covering doing this ad mechanic. And melee players, your job is to dump this into what is called a dead ad, so an ad that will not be spawned. So the way it works is if you dump, so let's just see they do these marks. They dump 2 here. Let's say they dumped one into green. Okay, so there's 20 on blue, 10 on green. Once the ad spawns, green goes back to 0. So you cannot pre-plan do all these ads and get them all to 90 and then pop them when you need them, for example. But what you can do is pass the blue debuff. So you'll notice right on pull is if you look at Putty Jr. Slow it down a little bit, maybe 5. This week orb will be on your screen for spread. There's Putty Jr. He's right here. He drops his first one off, right? Pretty simple. He's going to walk over this mage, pick up another one, drop again, and pick up another one and drop again. So he does it 3 total times. I think maybe 4. Only 3 because there's 3 other people with debuff. So he does 1, picks up 2 more, that brings it to 30. The rest of these 3 people drop off. This will bring it to 60. The reason why you bring the first one to 60 is just so that every time after this, I think I posted this in the channel as well, is you do 4, 4, 2, the rest of them. First one is 6, 4. That's the number of stacks. 6 for the first, 4 for the second. It spawns the ad. After that, you do 4 for the third set, 4 for the fourth set. You'll put 2 in condom, spawn it, and then 2. This one says pink diamond. Those will be different than what shows here, but 2 in the one you're spawning, 2 in the one after. Make sense?
Okay, so wait, so if 2 melee have it, right? That
Yeah.
means that they're going to the dead ad,
Yeah, so
and
the
then
idea is you
on the
don't.
fly ranged have to.
Yeah, so if you're a melee with like a cloak mechanic, or a bubble, for example, like same as cloak, Kel has bubble, you just cloak that off immediately and stay on boss.
Okay.
If you cannot cloak it and you cannot bubble it and you still have it, you can run to it. Like the idea is you don't want tornadoes all spawning here because it becomes cancer. So
Yeah.
melee spread out around the boss. You just go to an ad and dump it off. Let's say 3 melee get it. You all dump on an ad. It doesn't matter. The 4th one that's in range has to be spread for 4 total times. So 3 other people will have to pick it up.
Yeah, so
That,
it's an on the fly
that's an
kind of
on the fly
move.
thing. Yeah. So hopefully, I guess we can see here in 10 seconds when marks come out if it shows who has it or if it's just a say above the head, or maybe there's an option that this boomkin has turned off. See in a sec. Right after this. So there's nothing on this guy showing it. If I had to guess, there's going to be some sort of bar or a weak word that I can find at least for myself to show who has it, and from there we'll be able to decide who keeps it. It normally goes on range from what I'm understanding. It does and can hit melee, but for some reason it majorly picks range when it happens. That's sort of it. That's why we have a few more ancient on the site. So this is the mechanic. The whole thing of getting used to this is just in the rhythm of it's going to happen the same thing every pull in terms of 6 for the first one, 4, 2. And then it's just going over and doing the rest of the fight. Most guilds you watch this will 4 heal this fight. We're going to 5 heal it, and the reason being is that when you drop these marks, you get a debuff that does ticking damage. And if you stacked it to 3, that's super risky. 4 healing rise, maybe they have healing CDs here, I don't know. But it does consecutive damage. So when you 5 heal this fight, as long as you're not in Narnia and your healers are sort of playing, everyone's sort of playing in a vicinity, we'll call the pie circle when we did it on Heroic, you will be able to double stack with ease. It just allows transitions to be easier. So what does 5 healing do a little bit different than 4 healing is we're going to definitely do 4 platforms worth of ads and skip the 5th. You 4 heal it, you have crazy nuts DPS, you can, or execute damage really, you can only do 3 platforms and push the boss, but it becomes really scary. And kind of at the where gear at, it's irrelevant. The theory is if you 5 heal as well, you can spawn these infusers sooner because you can take more double stacks and more triple stacks, for example. You can end up spawning this one sooner and therefore getting more cleave damage off the boss onto the ad because it doesn't need to die at quite the same time. But other than that, this phase is identical. So their first ad spawn, now they're going to be dropping probably on Pink Diamond if I had to guess. I think they do. Yeah. So if for whatever reason we're technically behind, like we lose a first stack, like they only get, see if they only get 3. They might only get 3 here. It looks like, oh no, they have a guy with 4. Let's say they only got 3. You can always pick that up in a later phase, right? So if you only got 3 here and we forgot to spread it, let's say a melee got it, he cloaked it, we only did 3, we forgot to spread it, you can just make it up on the next set by spreading it to someone else. There's lots of maneuverability with that, but then obviously your adds up a little bit, etc. So what we're going to switch to is when this guy goes on second platform. That's all I really care about. Here. Actually, I'll show this right here before. Oh no, this is when we'll show this here. So we're going over on the platform. So going over the platform, there will be a DK on each set. I believe Marge goes first and Bread goes second, if I remember correctly, or the opposite way around. It doesn't matter. I have it written down on the doc.
Yep. I'm going second.
Perfect. You guys can all check the Mythic Raiders doc as well, and look at it together and see if everyone's going they want. Preferably, I think this should be correct. For timings, I know Kel has to go second. Bread needs to go second for CDs. Bull and Zesty probably don't matter. Anyway, we can talk about that after. But there'll be grippy hands on each one. Oops. So your goal is to go over. Don't worry too much about booping these in or anything. Rop is definitely a good one. You can use that here, Thal, and Spear Girl. I don't even know if Spear Girl's on the call. Yes, okay.
I can get engineering belt boop as well if we need.
Shouldn't really grippy hands should go out and really take care of this for us more than anything. It's really just a couple stragglers.
Booping one, booping the stragglers because grippy hands has
exactly.
Yeah, exactly. So a couple stragglers are good, but I don't want the main reason I'm saying this is I want boomies to save their boop for Typhoon and Ursul's on top of each other as a stun. And so I actually have CC sit up. So the whole idea is you're just going to keep them CC'd and locked down. You can max range their cast if you're group CCing like this. And then so they cap, and then they knock up. I don't know what does this little knock up. I don't know if this is Evoker or what. But something knocked them up here. Cancels it all out.
Says enhance.
Oh, enhance has a knock up too?
Yeah, Evoker has the knockup.
Okay, cool. Because I know they have cap, and they cap after this, I think. Yep. We'll cast again, and then here they just sort of send it. You'll have 2 healers up. They only have 1 healer up here. You're going to have 2 healers up with you every time because we're 5 healing. So it should make this one a little bit safer. But we just blow these up. It's pretty it is. And then as long as these die, this will tell. Yeah. So this will all tell us when it's safe to come back. You want to kill the ad right on time so you get booped when it says safe because then tornadoes are not moving. Safe for 15 seconds to kill the ad. Get booped back. Right? Super, super duper simple. And then we're just back. So you'll notice like, oh, their marks are kind of fucked up, right? 70, 20, 10. That's weird. Doesn't matter which dead you drop it on, and you can always pass blue after to fix it. That's sort of how we're going to play that. And it's really just getting in a rhythm of who should drop off and not drop off. Unfortunately, I can't see how many they have. Putty still has one, 90. This guy still has one, brings it to 100. They'll never drop off during the storm, right? Because there's tons of healing happening here. They'll always drop off after.
With 5 healers, probably good though.
We can feel it out, right? Keep in mind, people are able, like, it all depends where people are located. Yes, if everyone's right in like this side of the platform and doing well, that's great. But if there's people in Narnia on both sides, it kind of becomes sketchy.
Yeah.
And that's just it. And so these platforms happen every minute and a half. You'll get booped over. They'll plan your seedings accordingly. In terms of going over, I will keep this. This will be the same rotation every single time. When you first go over, I have solo interrupts to get ads in. This helps with the grips, right? We'll probably have DKs when they get booped over. Let me find it on the video. When DKs get booped over, if DKs can start on the left side, we can have other people interrupt the right side, if that works for you guys. If you guys can start gripping on this side, we'll have solar interrupts from anyone who has an interrupt range on the right side. And you can just start left, rotate towards middle, and grip them all in. That should be good. And then
How far into the fight is that?
every minute and 30 seconds.
So okay, so he didn't even hold his VA.
No. So
Yeah.
the way I have this is sort of where we can talk, and this is more of like a group conversation than it is a me telling you conversation of what we have going up on each platform. So the first group is Marge Spirit Girl. So we interrupt, we get them all in. Spirit Girl's first leg sweep. We have that into Blinding Light, which I don't have anymore from Straws, so that'll have to be replaced probably by. No, but you're on the second one, which puts you over here. Jelly's now over here. This is something I have to think about. So I could actually, what we could do here is Typhoon into Earth. We've double Typhoon into Ursals, and we'll probably use those back to back. Those should be fine by my Boomy, so it'll be a leg sweep into Typhoon into Ursals, into Typhoon into Ursals, and then we can solo interrupt again after that. For CDs going up for the first platform, we don't have much, but we do have double Hunter, which should be great cleave for this, and Outlaw Rogue. I think Boogie can. He's not in. Oh, he is in here. He can correct me if I'm wrong if he's playing Outlaw or not.
Yeah, I can play Outlaw. If I'm doing platforms, I'm definitely playing Outlaw.
Okay, perfect. Yeah, you'll definitely be on platforms, so that's great. And then I don't know. Scuttle, I think, has a minute and 30s as well. He's probably sleeping right now, but I think he's playing Arcane, and I think he'll have a minute and 30s on. That should be fine. So it'll be Maphis and Spirit Girl healing first.
He is playing Arcane.
I can also switch Maphis and Barry as well, and Barry can probably provide us a knockup. Maybe that's better. That's probably smarter here.
I have 2.
You have a knockup though, right?
Yeah, I have a knockout and a pushback. Worst case, I can take a stun from my fire breath too.
No, that's okay. We won't need 2. They're very just adding another one here is nice for the Typhoon. Okay. And then if I put
they should be dead by then.
Yeah. Maphis on the other one, yeah, we have ton. Like you can just take the blinding. Oops, take the blinding light here instead of Barry knocked up.
Oh, you also have in group 1. You also have Dragon's Breath from Scuttle.
Oh yeah, I have DB, so Scuttle can be a backup of that if he can take that. That would be huge. Now he's Arcane and going to be dumping his load, so we can figure out when that fits for him. I don't know what it is time-wise, how long your dump is Scuttle on things like your ramp, but trying to make sure that fits. So that's the first group. Second group, I have Dez. Is Dez in here? You're listed here, but you're not actually going to be going up, preferably. This is all based on damage. The reason why I had you as like a question mark is, am I going to need the extra stun? What damage is going to be like? But second group going up, so this will be at 305, and this is what the video they did, but it's again every minute and a half, so normally 3 minutes and 6 will be about the times you go up. You have same on his Outlaw, Homo, the 1 boop Vortex. So first going up will be Chaos Nova from Zesty, into Cap Totem from Bull, and I don't know what the knockup is from Bull. Blinding Light into Straws, Typhoon Ursals, interrupts again. We have more there, right? We still have Jelly Stuns too, and supposedly a bull knockup that's not listed, but more than these.
It's Thunderstorm. They just talented to knock up instead.
Oh, it's a knockup. Oh, you can talent instead of knock instead of push away.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So yeah, that's that. This will be feeling out damage for both. The reason why we made damage the way they are is supposedly the second group lines up better for CDs for these people. Bull doesn't have CDs, neither does Same, so that's kind of irrelevant. Boomies probably won't pop CDs up here because you're probably single target based. But I think Cleave should be good if Kel's pumping. Both MM Hunters should be good. And Scuttle will have good Cleave as well. We'll feel it out and see what damage is like, and we can always adjust. But that's what I have so far going into it, and we'll see how it plays out. But all for all, that is the fight. It's not an overly difficult fight. It's not in terms of mechanics. There's not much happening different from Heroic here, but do believe me when this is a difficult fight in terms of execution. Lots of comments are, I can't believe how fight this is off like a 3 mechanic fight, how difficult it is.
It's like a Halandrus difficult.
I know it's not Halandrus difficult.
After nerf.
Yeah, after nerf maybe. Yeah. Post nerf maybe. It's just suppose. Yeah, this is not a fun fight from what everyone's been saying that has progged it. And you can spend 50 pulls on this fight and not make it past the second platform. Supposedly, once you get past the second platform, it's pretty rinse and repeat from there. Why the second platform is your question? I don't know. There was no specific answer as to what's so difficult with the second platform. But my hope.
Everybody just has to learn it. Everybody just has to learn it, right? Yeah.
Yeah, but the thing is, so someone was. Sorry?
Maybe people's second set of CDs or something are up for a platform.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what it is. But once you get the and so some people are like, oh, just put them on first so you can practice both. It just doesn't. People were saying, oh, don't bother with that because the timings are completely different. I guess I don't know.
CDs are gonna be really different.
Yeah.
Maybe it's because once they get past the first two, they're like, oh crap, we can kill him.
Yeah, maybe just your confidence rises. I have no idea. But that is quite literally the whole fight. So it'll just be us learning where to drop the ads and charge them up correctly. And I know we don't have a ton of immunities from my melee, so we have a double rogue. Oh, Brad might be able to AMZ this actually.
Yeah.
So you'll probably AMZ.
So Cloak AMS, we have
and Bubble from Kel.
Bubble.
The main thing is when we're going into after.
You know if it's. Do you know when it's going to target before it goes
There's a
out?
timer. It's called marks.
Okay.
It doesn't say who it's going to target though, so like it's a.
Well, pretty much it is just AMS and.
Yeah, but it can't target you if you're on the platform. So if marks come out and you're on the platform killing ads, it cannot target you. So you can keep that in mind in terms of you'll only use it when you're on this platform here. But yeah, so we'll do two sets each for both groups, and then we ignore the 5th set that spawns, and it's just a boss burn. This boss is like there's Gigapad to have on the. This will be a feel it out for you guys on the platforms, obviously when you're going across, but that doesn't mean that you want to just spec every last point you have your talent tree to only AoE in like a Mythic Plus build. You got to feel what's good for you in terms of doing single target, because in the end, you don't die to a hardened rage on this boss. Well, you can. The timer is super duper flexible. What you die to is just soft enrage of just being overwhelmed with tornadoes and ads, kind of.
I've seen some logs where they had Glacial Fury files on. I guess for ads, yeah. Like if people are single target builds, but have that on to help with.
Yeah, you could. That's true. That's a good point. If you want a single target build and then use the file for ads.
Yeah, so if you have 5 healers, you're gonna be extra safe too. So like you probably won't need the verse files.
Yeah, but you don't want to use like you rot here at the end. Like this is pure rot from them, right? So as this fight.
5 heals, you can use like corrupting rage and shit. Like this is gonna be super fucking boring to heal, so you can do dumb shit. Try to get more damage out.
So the thing that happens here in the last phase, and this is something for us to keep in mind with marks going out, it's his UI doesn't really show it, but because we're never going to be clearing these marks, so this ad gets to 90 energy, right, guys? And you can never have it at 100 because you never want the ad to spawn. I mean, technically you could spawn it maybe at 5% and you'll never kill it anyway, but you just never spawn it. So now every mark that goes from here, you literally have to hold it. So if you get a double stack of mark, like you're holding it and it never goes away. So melee especially, or anyone with immunities, you have to make sure that you are popping you have an immunity for later in this last phase. If you're a rogue, you get a stack, you just cloak it. If you're a pally, you get a stack, you just bubble it.
You still got their health. Like even though they're holding it, their health bars really aren't moving with 4 healers right now.
Yeah, it's not till this cyclone right here, and then I think, yeah, they just get trucked.
Yeah.
You want to use? Do you want me to use the movement reset ability or?
Movement shouldn't be as important here for this one, I don't think. I mean, it's never a bad thing to have it. Like, does it cost you anything to take it?
I mean, it's 1 or 2 points.
Well, I don't know where those points are going otherwise, so it's hard for me to tell you if that's value or not. If you're not losing anything for it, it never hurts to have. If you're losing output like for it, it might be worth because we're 5 healing. But this is the whole kill point of the phase where execute is going to be super important, and
because I could use it on each cyclone with my group. If that like I don't know if the pull is stronger on Mythic. But,
I think it's the same as heroic. I don't think it's any stronger on Mythic as it is to heroic.
What ability are you talking about?
He's talking about the pull in the cyclone where you get pulled to the boss.
No, I know, but what ability?
Oh, the one that so he has a talent that reduces it reduces my aspect of a cheetah by like 45 seconds.
No, like
right?
Reset your ability.
Yeah.
Oh, it resets it. Okay.
Like you're able to use it the second time.
If classes are able to do a fine job on this on heroic, there's like the pull isn't any more severe in Mythic from what I'm understanding. It's the same sort of. It's not like a Razageth where you're being fucking pushed endlessly off the edge.
To be honest.
Okay.
Well, it's at 0.75 speed, so maybe that's why it looks a little worse. But yeah, that's the whole fight. There's not much to it, and so just look at your timers, look for marks, and I'll do my best in terms of telling us where to put it in terms of the energy, and then I'll put this note, give or take different marks on RC Loot Council as well. And then what your liquid pack as well, while I'm here, do for this fight is it'll tell you when it's safe to kill. Put that anywhere you want on your screen. What's the other one? And this will tell you when you go on your platform. That'll be set up as well. There's not much to it here. I have to move this, but this will be energy for the ad. And it will also show you. Yeah, here's your debuffs. So all this is preloaded. The only thing that's not preloaded on this fight is glows. I think everything else is preloaded. Maybe icons. I don't know if icons are naturally preloaded or not. But so super simple fight. Just really be ready. The hardest part of this fight is doing the first 2 platforms. And hopefully 5 healing curves that for us. And then if that does curve it for us, we 2-stack every single time we drop. 4 go out. 2-stack, you 2-stack. And then you're just pumping on boss. Single target is still important. Do not gib your build for AoE. If you're losing just like crazy amounts of single target for AoE, let us know. Let me know. At least maybe put it in your personal channel will be a really good spot, and we can sort of judge what we want to do. In terms of platform carrying, it'll be the hunters and an outlaw, and it'll be an outlaw and the ret. I think DH just normally does its normal stuff anyway, and Bull will do his normal stuff anyway. I don't think it matters what build they play. It should be okay. That's it. Does anyone have any questions or anything they know or anything that I missed that they've talked up on? 2 healers a platform, 3 on the regular platform at all times. 1 healer will never go up. That's Ash. Ash never goes up. He gets a. That should be good. Cool, guys. But let's come in. Let's be ready for tomorrow. We've decided to drop 1 cauldron at the start, so you'll have 20. I think we got a tier 3 proc out of it, so you'll have 20 tier 3 procs for Kurog. My goal is to drop a cauldron a night, so that will give you 20 pots to 20 people, power pots. Whether that's rank 2 or rank 3, it's irrelevant. But do have some in your back pocket, because when we get fights like Dathea, if you run out of those 20 that are given to you, they also expire at the end of the night. So if I drop 2,
grab some and trade.
Yeah, can trade as well. But what I'm saying is, like, we don't want to drop 2 because we're not going to get through 40 pots each, and then we're just throwing money away. So make sure you have personal pots, which we all did. I think Sam did a really good job reaching out to everyone's channel. Everyone will have those anyway. But this is the Dathea plan. Could be good. Maybe we can kill Kurog, get really deep, and who knows, could kill this tomorrow with 5 healing, depending on damage. And if you're not in yet, like, be ready. This is still a mechanical heavy fight. Like, getting hit by tornadoes is bad. Execute's going to be important. We're going to be looking at all those numbers. Make sure you're ready to come in and swap in if you are called upon. And please, for enchants, it's time to just make everything rank 3 on your gear. I understand weapon enchants, at least for hunters. I don't know about others. Like 20k gold from 2 to 3. We just have to dump it in. Happen at this point. Because we're just progressing too fast to have the rank 2s carry us through it. Perfect. Well, that's it for tonight. Thanks for coming, guys. If you have any questions, if tanks have any questions, and Marge, I don't know if you came. Oh, he wasn't here. Oh, there he is. I don't know if you came late, Marge, or not.
Yeah,
There's not much specifically from a tank perspective that's different from heroic.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
No, you're fine. Don't be.
I was listening to what you.
No, that's fine. So the main thing, Marge, I don't know if you heard when we go to platforms, DKs are gonna start their grippy hands on the left side of the platform, and then we'll have single interrupts on the right side, if that works for you.
I can mass grip too. I can just snap them all to me instantly.
Yeah, I don't know the range of that stuff. That's why I was kind of however it works. Whatever works best for you, Marge, you can do. If that's mass grip and they're all close enough and they all get pulled in, that's great. If they're not, the range will start interrupting, or yeah, probably the range will start interrupting the right side, and then you can start on this left side getting booped across.
But you could also use mass grip for you could use that for an interrupt, no?
Yeah, good.
You could. I actually think interrupt-wise, we'll see this when we field out, but I actually think we have more than enough over there. You could use it as like an emergency interrupt, but we just have to feel it out.
Grippy hands is fine.
Yeah.
And Marge can grip like normal grip, like if
one straggler ad. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, and I'll do the same thing. I can grip. Yeah,
exactly.
We have 2 grips for stragglers.
Yeah, so the idea is just make sure that when you're CCing, so if your first leg sweep Chaos Nova, and especially into Berry Knockup into Cap Totem, we got to make sure that we're letting. Hopefully they all get interrupted at once, therefore they all cast at once, and therefore we can wait part of the cast bar before we interrupt. We don't just want to overlap. Same as Anduin ads, kind of. Cool. That's it.
Probably want like Barry has like that one thing that evokers have that increases the duration of CCs by 50%. So you probably want him to be leading off on like CCs.
I have that too.
There's like a talent that does that.
But that affects other people. So like he could do it, and then leg sweep would last like 6 seconds instead of 4 or whatever.
But like, what does it cause him to? So what is the ability? Like, does he cast it on an ad or something?
It's a Brett. It's
So he can just still do it. He can go it as soon as he goes over, and then in leg sweep will be the 7 anyway.
Yep.
Yeah,
you just want to make sure they're grouped because it's like a cone. You want them to hit everything.
Yeah. So keep in mind the first thing going out is solar interrupts and pull in from the DK, right? So he should have more than enough time to get his breath on if you prio at Barry, and you should because we have 2 healers. So technically, Spear Glow can carry you through the first part, and then.
No, it's an insta cast.
No.
Okay, yeah, that. So just make sure it goes out, and then we can start with leg sweep and a knock up still, because I think leg sweep's super safe.
So okay, so as soon as they're all gripped up, I do this. And
use your breath thing, yeah, and then we'll leg sweep, when the cast is close to done, and then you'll knock up. So then the leg sweep will go out, the stun will go out, they'll start casting again. I don't know how your knock up works if there's a charge time, but then you want to knock up before their casts go off. Yeah, if there's no charge time, you just hit it right before they cast, pretty much. Like about
Mine isn't.
yeah, anytime between like 75% of when they're done casting, knock them up. That makes sense. That should be good. Guys?
I'm trying to log in just to show.
Perfect. Yeah, and we'll feel that in terms of like we have a couple things. Oh, I don't have this anymore actually. We have a couple different swaps we can make in terms of if we need more damage for platforms or less melee if it's too chaotic. That's all like a feel it out stuff that we have to figure out in the fight. What I understand, you have more melees, the tornadoes are too cancer. If you have more melees, so you're not getting enough lightnings into the ad. And then if you have too many ranged at the same time, there's too many tornadoes around the ad. So that's kind of cancer. But we're just going to feel it out if it works for us.
Yeah, so just make sure, like, yeah. So the thing is 2 minute cooldown, so I can do it on each platform. And then it increased the effect of crowd control by 50% and then extends again. So basically, like,
so it'll just be the sweep then. Yeah, that'll be fine then. It'll work for just the leg sweep, but then you'll knock up, and then we don't have any hard CC after this on that platform, right? Because it's leg sweep into your knock up, which is no hard CC, the Typhoon into Ursals, which are both no hard CC.
The way it's written, it's like if, let's say, the leg sweep is 4.5 seconds, like each other CC in the next like 5.5 seconds will still be last longer. It doesn't say the next current control effect.
No, I know, but what I'm saying is, like, you'll get it off, then he's gonna. Let's say you get it off, and there's 1 second that passes by. He leg sweeps. Leg sweep happens. I think it's 5 seconds, right? Someone can correct me if I'm wrong. So then it's 7.5 seconds. So now you're at 8.5 seconds, and then we don't have any hard CC again anyway. Doesn't matter. I mean, we can.
Oh, I thought leg sweep was 3 seconds. Sorry.
Oh, it was only 3. I thought it was 5.
What is it?
It'll show us on this.
It's 4.
Yeah, it used to be 5. On like Legion, but that was changed to.
Oh, they already did it.
So yeah, we have like 3-second window after to CC again.
I think your roar gets consumed by CC.
It's 5.
It
5
doesn't get
seconds.
consumed, but it's not really worth like microing it that hard to get a second CC.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
It doesn't say it consumes.
Unless they breath here. Unless they evoker breath here, because I think they do have one over. They have it on for 5 seconds. But it doesn't matter. Either way, you're right, it could work again, but we don't have any hard CC like that anyway, because we'll just have boops after that. Boops and Ursals.
Bring shield too if needed. I mean, to help.
I don't think there's any shields in this fight.
I don't think DB gets broken by damage, does it?
Yeah, it does.
Yes.
Yeah.
It does.
But that's
we also
okay.
have blast wave too. DB and blast wave.
Yeah, so like that sort of stuff that's not on here, it's definitely worth taking, but we'll just use it as like an O ship button more so. But same as heroic, we just group them all in, make sure we kill the small ones first. There's no reason why they shouldn't die first. They seem to die a lot faster. And we will probably, based on the damage of this group, have to hold on this big ad, which is perfectly fine. Just be ready for that.
Damage won't break the stun from deep breath.
It does.
Yeah, it does.
Breaks deep breath.
Yeah, it breaks deep.
Deep breath is a stun.
Yeah, it's a stun for 3 seconds.
It's a stun, isn't it? A.
No, you're talking
well,
about
it's a talent.
Oh, a talent.
Dragon's breath. Yeah, Dragon's breath is a disorient, not a stun. So that breaks on damage, but the evoker thing doesn't.
Oh, okay. Sorry, we were talking about the wrong breath. Okay.
Yeah.
My bad.
Anyway.
Halitosis gamers, man.
That's it, guys. So we prepped. Maybe we could double kill tomorrow. Let's have a really good early pulls on Kurog. We have Bread playing on Holy, and that's really the only minor swap that I'm understanding. Or major swap. A couple other minors, but nothing that should make big of difference. If our minor swaps are making too much of an issue, we'll just ask people to play the same thing they were playing the other week. And then from there, oops, I opened another WoW by accident. So we should go Kurog. We're hoping, if we have a really good pull, it could take us less than 5 pulls. Then we're into Dathea, and we'll be ready for that. Alright, guys? Perfect.
Cool.
That's it for tonight. I'll repost the video if anyone wants to watch again or missed anything. And if you have any questions before tomorrow, do let me know. Alright, guys?
I do have a quick question.
Yeah, shoot.
Do you want to just, for phasing Kurog in the first phase, do the same thing we've been doing, or do you want to have jelly taunted across the line.
No, just do exactly the same thing you've been doing.
Okay.
Unless there's something that you or Jelly have learned in the interim that makes it infinitely more consistent. I would rather just yeah, just keep it normal. If we fuck it up over the timing and like it's irrelevant, we just wipe and go again. We just lose out on, I think it's 1.5 minutes right till first transition. We lose out on like 2.5 minutes of time. We can just make that up by having a good pull after.
Oh, also for the cauldron tomorrow, I don't know if you need to have the primal chaos in your bag, but just in case, make sure you have those on you because you have to turn in 1 primal chaos per pot you get from the cauldron. I'm hoping it'll just pull from your like bank if you put them in your bank, but just in case.
Yeah, just keep them in your bag. I mean, you can have a stack of 1,000. Mine are sitting in my bag. Maybe they're not sitting in my bag for everyone. Yeah, and if you don't, you should have personal pots anyway if you fucked up. Yeah, they're there. Have those in your bag. Okay. Alright, cool guys. Well, I'll leave you for the night, and if you have any questions, let me know in the interim and we can go over them. But we'll see you tomorrow. Great. Cool. Thanks for coming. GG. Maybe 2 bosses tomorrow.